I'm Deborah Biagini. I'm the president of American International Club of Rome. And on behalf of the club, I would like to welcome all of you. I'd like to thank St. John's University for hosting the evening, and in particular Maggie for giving us her attention this evening. I have the pleasure now of introducing our guest speaker, who I've also had personal experience with. I wanted to say 2 words about that, because I guess 2 years ago, I met Gerard, maybe more than that.
No, more than that.
Yeah, maybe 3 years ago, I met Gerard at a time when I seemed to be growing, and growing, and there was no stop. And Gerard said, I can help you. And I thought, well, you know, there we go again. How long is that gonna last? Well, it's 3 years later, and it's lasted. Because Gerard not only taught me exercise that I could do even by myself in my own home, but he also taught me ways of other things that I could do that, and he'll explain all that to this evening. Gerard Burley holds a Bachelor of Science in Exercise Sports from the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, a Master's of Science from Cal Penn University in Exercise and Health Promotion. Besides his degree, he holds many top-level fitness and nutrition certificates. Coach G, as he is well known, has made his life work to impact the lives of others through positive motivation and fitness coaching. He prides himself in approaching fitness from a holistic point of view. If we train the mind, the body will follow. He currently is the owner of Coach G Fitness, an English-speaking fitness company based in Washington, D.C. and Rome, Italy. And now, Gerard.
Thank you, Deb. When you read off all that stuff, I sound kind of important. I don't know why. I'm like, wow, I did that. It's crazy. So, the first thing I want to say, like, this seems like a big presentation and all, but I like to be as informal as possible. So, like, you guys, if we're talking about something, and you guys have a question or something, just raise your hand and we can stop right there. Because I hate when I'm in a presentation and I have a question, and then I'm like, oh, and then when it's question time at the end, you always forget. So I really just stop and make this less of a presentation and more of like a round table discussion. So if you guys have any questions that kind of pop up, and we can just, you know, have that kind of dialogue or whatever. So like Deb said, I'm a personal trainer, fitness background. I really started with sports medicine, but really moved from working with a lot of athletes to working with a lot of the general population. And I love it. And I try to tackle not only the fitness side of things, but a lot of the mental side of things, because I really find that though we always think that our body drives our mind, it's totally opposite. And once you have the muscle of the mind together, then we have everything else together. So we're really gonna move through this presentation, which is called Becoming a Fit Star. So a Fit Star is something that I came up with one day when I was drinking green tea. And basically to me, a Fit Star was, I was thinking of what would I envision every client of mine to be, not by the end of the time that we finish, but eventually as we continue through. So I came up with this term, the Fit Star, and we're gonna kind of go through like what that is to me, what that means, and how to you know, become, I guess, a better person overall. So, all right. So what is a Fit Star? So we take this out of this these acronyms. I say Fit Star is one, self-confident, they think positive, they're aggressive, and they're resilient. So when I say this at first, some people are thrown off because you think, oh, I was gonna come in here and talk about bicep curls all day. But these 4 adjectives can actually be attributed not only to fitness, but also to our life. So self-confident, we look at it, a Fit Star is someone who will walk into any place and feel confident about themselves. Same thing when we look at the fitness, our fitness goals. A lot of people are intimidated, you know, going into gyms or are scared to go outside of their comfort zones when we are talking about going into new fitness environments or taking on new fitness challenges. So we want you to be self-confident with that. Think positive. It's so easy to think negatively. How you think is how you grow. You know, so if you think positively, you'll grow positively. If you think negatively, you'll grow negatively. So always want to think positive throughout whatever we do. Aggressive, not in a negative sense, but aggressive in the sense that if you see something you want, we're gonna go get it. If you want to lose 20 pounds, if you want to be the strongest person out there, if you want to be the best fitness trainer out there, then go get it. I think a lot of times the same energy that we take within our exercises and anything on the fitness realm can bleed over straight into our life. So it's a reason why a lot of the top CEOs in the world, you look at Forbes list, one of which I train. But a lot of those people, they all are fit, and they're also, and you'll see someone who's a CEO of a big corporation, and then they finished a marathon, and then they just did this, they did that. It's because they are aggressive in every aspect of their life. So I think they kind of bleed over. And the next one is resiliency, or resilient. This is probably one of the most important things to me, because to be resilient is basically like how are you gonna act when the chips don't go your way? And it's gonna go like that. Sometimes you're gonna work your tail off, and we're gonna look up and you're not gonna hit your goal. Maybe you're working out every day, you think you're hitting the diet the right way, and then we remeasure and you look and you're like, I lost 1 pound. But are you gonna let that go down and say, you know what, I'm just gonna go eat cornettos all day because I can't, it just didn't work? Or are you gonna reassess yourself, relook at things and say, hey, did I do everything I could? Or you know what, I'm just gonna keep kicking at it and we're gonna make it happen. So these are my breakdown of what a fit star is. Think like a champion. I had to put my Ravens on there. I'm from Baltimore, so we just won a Super Bowl. Actually, I delayed my trip because I was gonna come last week, but I had to see the Super Bowl. So one way a fit star thinks, you think like a champion. Never make excuses. We make choices. I never make an excuse in my life. If I'm not something, it's because I made choices to not be that way. If you are not looking how you want to look, accept responsibility and make choices. Before I start with a client, one of the first things we do is what's called a consultation. So we just sit down and talk, and they're always ready to, think they're going to work out the first day. The first day we're just going to talk. And I sit and I say, well, what's going on? Why are we not where we want to be? And usually a long list of excuses come out. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough anything. But you have to look at it. You've made the choice to apply your time or energies to other things. So always want to talk about choices, not excuses. I always say think like an athlete in this sense. I think a lot of people who aren't the most fit in the world have this ideology that people who are fit just love. I wake up in the morning, I just want to do push-ups and squats and lunges, and I just want to eat lettuce and boiled chicken, and it's not like that. A lot of days I'm like, oh God, I gotta go to the gym and work out. The same things that you guys think about is the same things that people who are fit and just choose to be fit think about. But like an athlete, you have to do it. So whether you feel like you want to or not, it's something that has to be done. So that's when I say think of yourself as an athlete, and that's like part of your day. Working out is my chemo. So this is something I've added in actually. Welcome, don't worry about it. Come sit down. So, all good. So I had a client that really emotional case, but a client who was a cancer survivor, and we were we're trying to get her back into moving and getting into a fit lifestyle and just really just becoming a better person day to day with just moving. And one day she told me that she said, working out. She didn't like working out at all. Starting it up. And she told me that working out to her was like her chemo, and it really clicked with me. And I thought it was something that people could relate with, so I put it in here. But she was like, it's something I don't want to do, but I know I have to do it because it makes me better. And and after I do it, I'm glad I did it. So it's kind of like an analogy. You can think of it like that, but it's one way to think. And then the last thing, mental toughness is a muscle. So like we talked about when we first started, your mind and your willpower is a muscle. So the more you exercise it, the stronger you'll get, and the easier it'll get to overcome certain things. So the first time you step outside of your box, it's tough. The second time it's a little bit easier. The third time it's a little bit easier. So we keep trying to push ourselves, we're going to become better in that realm. All right, the whys versus the whats. All right, so whenever we first start with people, everyone wants to know what the whats, like, oh, I want to lose 20 pounds, I want to get stronger, I want to have a six-pack. But to me, the whys drive the whats. So instead of looking at the whats all the time, let's really focus on the whys and find out why we are where we are. So let's look at the choices we've made. Why have you made these choices? Is it because you don't feel good about yourself? Are you depressed? Have you not just focused enough energy on yourself? Do you not think you're worth that? Wow, that's the things you're thinking about. Where I talk about others have the same problems and they're doing it. So when you talk about excuses, there's always someone that's going to say, oh, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money. But there's always someone out there who has less time than you, less money than you, less resources than you, and they're doing it. So what do they have that you don't have? Either. So when you think of it that way, then you're just making an excuse. So that's why I try to focus with that. And then why do you want to be fit? What is your motivation? Do you just really want to look good in a bathing suit? Or is it something more? Like, do you want to really feel confident about yourself? I think it's one of the major things people should just like, and I think it's like a life goal, is liking who you are when you're naked in the mirror. I mean, I think that's huge. Like, just being able to wake up in the morning and be naked, like, not that bad. I think that I sound a little weird, but that's something that I think a lot of us can just aspire to, and that's awesome. So we're gonna see what drives you, and everything's not aesthetic. A lot of people that I work with, in generally are 35 to probably like 60, 65, something like that. And a lot of it, what drives you, I have a lot of clients who have children. I want to be around when my grandkids are around. I want to present a healthy lifestyle for my family. So you don't want to be eating nasty things because your kids are going to follow you. So that's a different thing that drives you. And we have to find what motivation actually is going to make us, stick to it. So, and what we gain from it. So will you just feel more confident? Will you feel better around your family? Feel more confident with your work? Have more energy? Just really like think about these things. So, sorry. All right. So this is a little chart I came up with some cycles that a lot of people go through, and it's like the endless cycle of death, I like to call it. So is that slightly extreme? All right. So we're sitting at home. I don't want to exercise. So I don't. Then I'm sitting at home. I feel bad because I didn't exercise. So now I'm gonna go eat because it's gonna make me feel good. I'm not gonna eat good, healthy foods. I'm gonna eat what we call comfort foods, but I don't know why we call them that, because I guess they comfort us for a temporary. I call them more drugs because they cover up an emotion for a while, but then that emotion has to be reapproached. So we're gonna hit our comfort foods, and then we ate the comfort foods. So what? I feel bad again. Now I don't feel bad. I'm not gonna exercise. So these different parts of the spectrum, you can start in either one of them, but it's a very similar cycle that I think all of us, including myself, have been through. So I just like to bring that up there. All right. Kill the comfort zone. I hate the comfort zone, and we all should hate the comfort zone, okay? So I like this little caution you're entering the comfort zone thing. So comfort zones in every aspect of our life hold us back. The key is getting out of your comfort zone with the growth. As we're kids, when you first do that first day of school, you don't want to leave mommy's hand. But then, because you've gone to school, you're educated and you're able to grow and move on. It's very hard, but getting out of your comfort zone is necessary. And being able to visualize yourself doing positive things outside of your comfort zone is very important. And another thing I say, think about what you want and not what you feel. So in the moment, we might feel nervous, scared, discouraged, but think about our goals of what we want. And if we focus our energies on that as opposed to our immediate feelings at the moment, I think we'll be a little bit better when approaching coming outside of our comfort zone. So I have a little chart right here about the comfort zone. You can see everything that happens inside the comfort zone. The biggest one, 90% of the population, maybe even more, I say stay in a comfort zone. Or at least once you hit a certain point in your life, it's like, oh, I don't need to grow anymore. I don't want to grow anymore. And that to me is ludicrous, all right? We should be growing until the day they put us in the box, all right? That's how I feel. So, mediocre life, just surviving, just like getting by. Fear, tired, depression. There's another one I see a lot is what if I can? Well, damn it, what if you can? On the other side of it. And I love within the work, I love to see people get to that point where they never thought they could do something and then they can do it. So always, I think, push yourself outside that limit, get out the comfort zone, you have your dreams, your success, you be fearless, your beliefs, passion, everything that happens outside the comfort zone. So I think it's very important for us to know when we're staying in that comfort zone. And if not, and if you can't, to find that out yourself, have people around you who might, who want the best for you, might say, hey, you're staying in your comfort zone, so we need to push you a little bit more. And that's usually, I would say that's 90% of my job, is getting people out of their comfort zone to push them and elevate them to the next level. So as we come out of our comfort zone, we're talking about now we're thinking like a fit star. We got our mentals pretty much together. We're about ready to get this thing going. Let's talk about goal setting. Biggest thing of goal setting. Do you make realistic goals? Okay. You can sit here and say, oh, I want to do 100 push-ups and lose 20 pounds by March. But then we look back and say, oh, I didn't put those 20 pounds on in a month, and I haven't done a push-up since 1973, the summer. So, so you definitely want to, make sure that your goals are always realistic. And within those realistic goals, we set long-term goals and short-term goals. Long-term, really think ultimate goal, and think short-term. Every short-term goal should lead to our long-term goal. So maybe a short-term goal, is weekly or monthly.